All right. Woo! We are live like Memorex. And I'm super duper excited tonight, gang, because I have a special guest. Let me make sure I got everything accurate here. Make sure we are live on Facebook. Check. Recording on. Check. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am super duper excited. Welcome to In the Life of a Female Entrepreneur, where I interview 30 dynamic, super dynamic female entrepreneurs, and they're going to tell you what goes on behind the scenes. Because sometimes when we see other entrepreneurs, we think everything is gravy. They just kind of woke up like that, like Beyonce says. And we think that the struggles we go through, no other entrepreneur goes through. No other female entrepreneur has to go through those things. But that is also far from the truth. And guys, I always said, I'm going to show you guys the real. So tonight is another episode of 30 Women, 30 Days in the Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur. And our special guest tonight is the like capital H, capital H. I mean, capital T, capital H, capital E. Let me get my spelling right. Dr. Nadia Brown. Welcome, Doc.
Welcome. Hi, Lyric. Thanks for having me.
I'm super excited. And it's kind of like one of those things where you interview your friend and it's like, dang, I think I know everything. So you say, remember that time when this, and this. But for those who may not know you, a lot of people really do know who you are because you are a superstar. But for those who don't know, could you just kind of tell them a little bit about you and your company and what do you do and how do you serve your community?
Well, my company is Doyen Leadership Institute, and Doyen means Standout Woman Leader. It's actually a real word. And I work with companies to help them generate more revenue. I work with women entrepreneurs to help them get past the fear factor when it comes to sales. And I help them build teams so that they're not trying to build their big visions by themselves, particularly sales teams, so we can make money.
I was going to ask you now, what type of team are we talking about now?
Okay, let me clarify. Someone today asked me today, like, what's your superpower? I was like, my superpower is helping people make money and have fun doing it. So
that's a heck of a superpower right there. Make money and lots of it.
Right. He was like, oh, I like money. I was like, all right then.
Yeah, that is thebomb.com. Now, Doc, how long you been an entrepreneur?
I left corporate in March of 2012.
Okay. So you left corporate America. So that means you had like a good paycheck coming in every 2 weeks, right?
I had a very, very nice paycheck coming in. I was in a position that really sucked. So I had a boss, her name was Beverly. And she was just...
You put her name out there?
I put her name out there. I put on blast. It's all good. So a lot of Beverlys in the world. It'll be between us. She knows exactly who she is. But yeah, it was just at that point. But the thing was, Lyric, it wasn't so much Beverly in and of herself. I feel like she was really a catalyst. So at the time, she was causing me a lot of angst and a lot of anxiety and heartburn. But she was really the person that helped me to figure out, you know what, this right here isn't working and you need to stop hiding and figure out how to move forward. So I hired a coach and we started we started laying the groundwork for my business before I left. So technically I've been in business since 2011. That's when I did all the legal schmeagle paperwork. But 2012, I was like, deuces, I'm out. So here I am.
So technically, should we be thanking Beverly?
Yes. And I still owe Beverly a thank you card. I said that many times. I owe her a thank you card because anger is an emotion that really drives me to take action. So you can get on my nerves and I can be annoyed. And, as long as things are going good. It's hard to break up when things are good. But when you're mad, so it's the same thing with a job. As long as things were fine, it was kind of like, yeah, I want to do something. I kind of thought about starting a business, but I have a really nice paycheck, very nice benefits. And, you know, my job wasn't that far from my house, like, and I could work from home every now and then. Like, it wasn't a whole lot of motivation for me to leave, except for Beverly. So,
Now, Beverly is not the B in cubicle 3, is it?
Yes, she is.
I never knew who the B in cubicle 3 was. You never said her name.
Everybody assumes that I'm calling her the B word, which there were probably days I did call her that. But no, her name was really Beverly.
Let's see, I didn't know that. I knew your story about the B in cubicle 3. You know, that she hurt your last nerve. I really thought you were saying the B word.
No. Her name is Beverly. And I do know Beverly. You know, I really do.
Well, you learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I knew everything, and I've heard the story. But I thought you was calling her the B word, Dr. Nadia.
No, we were just, you know, creative wordplay.
Very creative, Beverly. Okay, so now we know. So with this nice paycheck coming in, you can work from home, you know, a few days a week. There's no traffic because your commute is like down the street. And it was just Beverly. Some people would say, I think I'm just going to ignore Beverly. I'm just going to stay right here because it's comfortable.
But that's just the thing. It wasn't comfortable. And I honestly tried, which was really ironic because typically when I was in corporate, especially when it came to my performance, you couldn't say nothing halfway sideways about my performance without me being ready to write a dissertation to defend myself. So I decided, you know, with Beverly, I said, well, let me try something different. How about I just chill, you know, not get all excited or angry or emotional, right? I'm trying to control my emotions and chill out and, you know, kind of fly below the radar. But that daggone woman would not leave me alone. And so she just wouldn't let me get comfortable. And there would be times when I'd be like, okay, I think, you know, we had our one-on-one. I think we've worked it out, right? So, you know, like, whew, all right, let me breathe. Choppily. She come up with something else. It was constant. And it wasn't until I told her I was leaving. Them last 2 weeks, we were like BFFs. And she was writing glowing reports about me. And Dr. Nadia, you know, was amazing. And I was wonderful. And we, you know, were able to figure out what was going on. But it was just, I was done. And I really needed that catalyst. Because here's the other thing, you know, people look at me now and, you know, they say, well, Dr. Nadia, you're married. So it's easy for you to take that leap. And honestly, no, it wasn't. And those that have spouses, they know sometimes your spouse is looking at you ultra sideways, like, you're trying to do what? Because, you know, they too are looking at your paycheck. Right. But here's the thing. Not only did I have a good job, but I was the one who everybody was on my benefits. So both my husband and I were on my benefits because my benefits are better than his benefits. And at that time, I made more money. So this was a huge, you know, I wasn't like I had a job where, you know, my income didn't matter. My income was a major factor in making that transition. So this wasn't a transition that we took lightly. And it was a little rough. It came down to, you know, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice some trips to get your nails done? And, you know, some of those, like, those were real conversations. And how long can we do this before, like, we looking at, like, where we gonna live? You know, those are conversations that you really have to have. Now, thankfully, within the year, my husband was blessed with a great job. You know, he more than doubled his salary. Like, he, you know, not he the big ball of shot caller, but at that moment, you know, it wasn't like we could look at our finances and say, all right, well, babe, you're making all this great money and my salary doesn't matter. Like, my salary was a big factor when we made that decision for me to leave. And so it wasn't something that was taken lightly.
Now, when you made the decision, did your husband say, babe, oh, babe, let's talk about this now. You know, I'm gonna cook dinner tonight, and, you know, we just have a meeting of the minds at this table here in the kitchen, and let's talk about it.
There, you met my husband, so, you know, we had many meetings. Like, this was not a single conversation kind of transition. I remember one day, Lyric, I drove home from work. It was a Friday, girl. Me and Beverly had it. I was so mad at that daggone woman. And so I was driving home in the car. I called one of my other coworkers. I was so upset. I was crying. Like, I was so angry. I was moved to tears. And
I am now.
Right. But you laughing. I was mad. I was so mad at that woman. And so I'm driving home. I'm talking to my coworker. I'm like, I just can't. I just don't know if you know how it is. You get so mad and you just start saying crazy stuff. I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So then I got home and I'm talking to Toby, and he knows I'm not a big crier. So he was a little concerned, like, oh Lord, what in the world Beverly done did now? And I was like, I don't want to go back. I'm just done. I'm quitting. I'm not dealing with her anymore. Let me tell you what Toby did. Toby let me have my pity party. Because remember, this is on Friday. He, woo, 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 baby, I love you. Life is good. It's going to be all right. Yes, it's probably, time for you to really start thinking about this business thing, blah, blah, blah. But baby, let me tell you, when Sunday night came, Nadia, Miss Brown, I'm going to need you to get your hips up tomorrow morning and go make up with Beverly. Like, you're going back to work. Like, it wasn't one of those. So we had a lot of conversations about what this could look like. And, how this is going to impact us. And it wasn't just one of those emotional days, like, I quit. Like, no, that's not how this went down.
Oh, wow. And then you had to do a whole lot of prayer because you had the health insurance. Hopefully nobody.
We had all kinds of things going down. And Toby, you want to do spreadsheets, you want to do benefit analysis, what's the risk management plan? Oh.
Don't fall and hurt yourself, babe. Don't go out and
Right. Don't do nothing. Don't stub a toe. Don't get sick, Nadia. I'm more likely probably to get ill. Like, it's just a mess. Like, there were a lot of things that we talked about. I'm looking at the numbers. And then, I thought that I was going to kind of slide in under the radar and help someone else with their vision. And, and then I'll kind of build my business on the side. Well, that ended up being that was just a train wreck. So it was, so I really did find myself sitting there like, well, here you are. You better figure out how to make this work, young lady, or you might be calling Beverly back.
The B in cubicle 3, baby. I'm just going to call her the B in cubicle 3 because I like that. That sounds better. I like it. But she was messing with my Nadia. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it was rough.
3. Okay. It's 2012. You made this decision. You said, okay, we can get no acrylics for a minute. I'm going to probably twist my own hair. Making those changes, was it just, oh, okay, I just don't get my nails done, don't get my hair done, so we're good now. I took out those couple of things, tweaked it, and we're just great gravy business taking off, right?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, first of all, I like getting my hair and nails done. I don't like shopping, so those are Nadia's guilty pleasures. Let's just put it out there. And I really, so while I had a vision of what I wanted to do, I didn't have things mapped out of how to do it. And so there was a level of arrogance. I call it arrogance on my part. I think part of it I was a little naive. But, I was like, okay, I've seen people do this. I know what to do. Like, I can, I went to YouTube University. I had a coach that really laid out some of this stuff. So surely I can go out there and build an online product and build a business. And clearly I could be a coach. Like, seriously, I'm going to sit in my office in my yoga pants and, build this 6-figure business. Like, I got this. Yeah, until I didn't. And so I'm sitting in this office here trying to create products for people who didn't know I existed. I wasn't really sure what they needed. And it was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was sitting here for months, not just 30, 60, 90 days. Like, it was a long time. So that was from March to about September, October-ish. 0 clients, 0 revenue. And a spouse is looking at me ultra sideways, like, excuse me, hello. And the only thing that I had revenue-wise at that time was I was still teaching part-time because I was an adjunct professor. So I had my online classes that were kind of helping to make the difference. But let me just be clear. What I was bringing home with teaching online classes was nothing compared to what I was bringing home with my regular job. So, and there were no benefits. So there was still a big gap. in terms of, you know, what we were doing. And in some ways that was just a continued distraction. So when I talk to entrepreneurs, I say, don't let anyone guilt you into feeling bad about having a job or something that helps sustain you. Because if you're anything like me, it's difficult to create and focus on, you know, being excited and cheerful when I'm stressed out about, you know, how we going to pay the bills, or when is this going to, you know, the savings are going to run out, and those sorts of things. So I think it's really important that you figure out what works best for you. And also, everybody's situation is different. Like, I have a spouse. I have a great spouse. I have a great spouse who supports my vision. Not everybody has that. Even if they have a spouse, that doesn't mean their spouse supports them. Correct. Or would say, you know, it's okay for us to be a little uncomfortable on the off chance that this crazy, wacky idea you have might actually work, exactly. You know. And so those are really key things. And so I think sometimes, you know, out here in this entrepreneurial space, we hear people telling us what to do and how it should be and looking down on you. But at the end of the day, are they paying your mortgage and for your car note? And I live in Arizona. It's 100 and something degrees, like daily. My AC needs to work and work well, you know. So, you know, you can't let people dictate that to you. And so that's one of the things I want people to really walk away with. Yeah, and especially when you go that stretch and you have no clients and you have no money, and then not only your spouse, you got your good girlfriends, you got, you know, your mom and them, your mom, girl, I know you ain't quit your good government job. I know you quit your job. Or if they're not overly excited or concerned about it, then they just think that you're not doing anything. So that's the other option. So they feel like we can just call you any time of day and talk to you for hours and hours on end because you're not doing anything. You don't have a job. You're not doing any work. So you had to learn early on to set those parameters. I'm not the backup babysitter, you know, or whatever that is. Like I live, you know, several thousand miles away from my family. So they weren't rolling over, dropping the kids off, but they didn't mind calling me in the middle of the day. Girl, let me tell you what happened with Granny. No. Why not? You ain't got no job. Right, exactly. And that was the attitude. And then you sitting there some days like, well, you know, you're kind of right. So what do I do? Oh my God, because sometimes, and I was said earlier, Dr. Nadia, sometimes we listen to the people closest to us because we're like, well, they do know us. Maybe they're right. Like they know us better than anybody, sometimes better than ourselves. And sometimes we're like, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. It ain't worked all these months. You know, ain't nobody letting me teach them about sales. I can't even sell my own doggone. Oh, hold up. I wasn't even trying to teach nobody about sales. I didn't want to sell. If you had told me then, Lyric, that I would be like the person that's all excited and hype about sales, I would have laughed. I would probably still be laughing. I would be laughing like you were laughing earlier with tears streaming down my face. Like I didn't want to sell. That was part of my problem. I didn't want to sell. I hated sales. I need you to understand. I hated sales. See, and then, so when I did get a coach that was walking me through how to do this, and she was like, Nadia, you belong on stage. So I did invest. Talk about investing. I just, you know, when you invest and you don't have no money, you know, you all in. You show up for every call. You show up for everything. Anything she think about doing, you right there with your notepad, like, okay, what we got going? Mm-hmm. And so I took another leap and I invested in a coach. And one of the things she said was, Nadia, you belong on stage. And I was like, this lady is crazy. I need her to put together a marketing strategy so I can sell my online courses and stay in my office, because the Dr. Nadia is going to be a world-renowned leadership coach, and my outfit of choice is going to be a t-shirt and pants, right? And she went buying into the vision. Like, I don't know where our communication broke down, but it was not happening. And so, but I did listen. I started to get out there and I started speaking. And so initially I didn't have no products, right? So I was speaking to book strategy sessions so then I could talk to people to be in my coaching program, right? Mm-hmm. And I would do this stuff. I would get the talks together. I would do the talk. I would collect all the information. But Lyric, when it was time to have that session, girl, I would want to do anything. Laundry looked really good about then. Let's wash some dishes. I don't have a dog, but let me go walk somebody's dog. Like, it was just a very stressful part of the business. And I'm like, why can't these people just see how amazing I am? Sign up. Like, why do I have to to them. I don't want to talk to you about this. I don't want to ask you to invest. I just want you to just see, oh my gosh, Dr. Nadia, that talk was amazing. And I just can't move forward in my life without working with you. And yeah, that never happened. It just never happened at all. It just,
so you didn't start off selling these $25,000 products and services.
Lyric, let me tell you something. When I started, my one-on-one coaching was $500 a month per month per person. And my goal was $3,000. All I needed was 6 clients. And I thought that was the biggest obstacle of my life. Like, I just didn't even know. And my coach would remind me, you do realize you made way more than that in corporate, right? I'm like, but I ain't in corporate. I'm here, I'm doing this. And so I remember back to them days, I was like, I don't even know, like, what people really invest. What does this look like? $3,000? Like, who makes $3,000 a month in their business? Like, that was big time. So yeah, no, I didn't even fathom or thought about me ever having a package that was $25,000. Like, that just wasn't even on my radar. Like, 500, let's start there.
$500. If I can get a certain amount of people so I can, make that $3,000, I'm good. And I'll feel slightly back on track.
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly. Now, how many of the 6 did you get? Did you ever get to the 6 people?
I eventually got one.
Well, I'm not supposed to be laughing this hard on these interviews. I'm supposed to be holding my composure,
You said you wanted the real. I'm not going to come on here and say, girl, it was easy. I got my coach and boom, I was rolling in the dough. No, I wasn't.
People have came on here and had given me some real, but I did not laugh this hard. So you wanted 6 people at $500 a pop, and you had one.
Got one.
So did you tell your husband, yes, I'm on my way. I got one.
Yeah, girl, yes. That's why with my clients, we celebrate the wins, whether it's $5 or $25, because I know what it's like when someone says yes and they actually follow through. Like, that is huge. And so I was so excited, like, oh my gosh, I have a client. Here's the thing though, Lyric, I never got a client at $500 a month. When I raised my prices to $650, that's when I started getting clients.
It happened to me too. When it was low, nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted to work with me.
Standing room only. Well, great, come on in.
Yep. And so people look at me sometimes and they're like, Dr. Nadia, what do you mean raise my prices? And I'm like, you don't understand. But I can be so passionate about it because I've lived it. I know what it was like to offer my services at a lower price, and people kind of look at me like, child, bye, and then raise my prices and have people say yes. And so, sometimes your prices are too low.
Yeah, that's a little weird. You would think the opposite, right? You would think if it's at a lower price point, I'm going to be booked. I'm going to have those 6 people just like
right. I'm going to be packed out. No.
I'm going to have a waiting list. Everybody's going to want leadership training. So at what point did you say, oh, leadership, sales? Like, where was that transition? Did the leadership thing not work? So you went to sales, or it was working, but sales just kind of creeped in there? Like, how did this transition go? Because we talk about changing what we actually do.
It was hard. So when I finally got, I gained my traction. I was speaking. I published a book that first year. I did, people did start paying me more than $500 or $650. Like, there were some wins. And so there was that traction I was starting to get in my business. And so I was really excited about it and just really owning that space and leadership and women in leadership and, doing my thing. And, and then but here's the thing. I wasn't really owning the sales piece and really paying attention to consistent revenue. So I thought that as long as I stayed out there and spoke a lot, or if I changed my strategy, or if I focus on only paid keynotes or only this or only that, then I wouldn't have to sell. Like, I was just really trying to separate and divorce myself from being a salesperson. So if you would have told me, like, Nadia, you're a salesperson, I'd have ready to cuss, like, ready to call you out your name. Like, no, I'm not. I'm a leadership trainer. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. I'm dignified. Sales is whatever. Until I got to that point where I realized I couldn't ignore it anymore. So here I was trying to build a business, and I was investing in systems. Like, I got that early on. You know, you need some systems. I invested in some that I probably shouldn't have at that point in my business. That's a whole nother broadcast. And I also had teams. So I had an assistant, and I actually had 2 assistants at one point, and a coach or 2, you know, because I needed support, and I got that. But what had happened was, because I refused to really hone in on the sales and really just kind of, you know, like, well, I'm good. And I'm just depending on these wins here and there, hit and miss, and not having a solid strategy. And I still didn't want to talk to people. I woke up one day and I was like, this isn't working. Like, I just got to that point where I was owing people. I was late paying. So then I was 3 months behind with one of my support staff, and another one, it was just a mess. I was like, I can't afford to pay you. And then now, you know, you're like, are the systems going to get cut off? And, you know, systems in our business, like, your lights get cut off. Like, this is just the lifeblood of what I do. And then starting to have really difficult conversations with people. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And, you know, now the day and age that we live in, being a person that people see, you know, I'm out speaking, I'm doing all these things, I'm encouraging women to shatter their inner glass ceiling and move past their fears. But I have moved past my fear of sales. And it just came to that point where I was like, something has to give. And then I had to have that conversation with Toby, and he's just like, look, this, you know, that you cut off from using any of our personal money to support this thing. Because right now, you know, at that point, he had a real attitude about the vision. Like, it was kind of like the redheaded stepchild. Like, I don't even know why we did this. Was a crazy idea. Like, get your life together. Right. He wasn't feeling it. It was not. So that was that point that I was like, you know what? I have to fix this. And so I made a commitment, no more masterminds. It wasn't like I could afford it anyway at that point. And getting support, like, right. But also really focusing on getting support and training on sales. Like, anything that you invest in at this point needs to be how to sell, Nadia. And that's it. Focus on sales, because no matter how much you may not like it, having that consistent revenue is what's going to keep you out of this place. And I never wanted to go back to that place of just feeling so ashamed and so embarrassed and so just whatever about, you know, what was going on in my business. And then not having a whole lot of people you could talk about it with.
Yeah.
And say, girl, you know, this is kind of, because, you know, a lot of people looking at you like, oh my gosh, Dr. Nadia, it must be so great to be you. And you're like, no, actually right now it really sucks. Like, things behind the scenes are hot.
Behind the scenes. And people just don't understand what goes on. They see you saying, take off your cape and, you know, take the leap and, you know, like you said, shatter the inner glass ceiling. And it's easier said than done. But the thing is, we created this platform so people, when they go through that, oh, yeah, this is normal. I heard Dr. Nadia say it. I heard, you know, Dr. Vicki Johnson say it. You know, like, oh, this is normal. I'm on the right track. Because if we don't know and all we see is people here and we're down here trying to figure it out, we might think, well, this is not for us. Maybe I should go get my job back. Maybe I should try something else, because we'll switch now. We'll be selling lemonade one day and say, oh, Lord, I think I better make chicken dinners and sell them at the church on Sundays. Like, we'll switch up, you know, because as women, we can do multiple things because we're gifted like that. So when something doesn't work, we're quick to say, well, I could bake some pies or something. You know?
I can make a mean pound cake.
Make a mean pound cake and sell it at the church with Sister Johnson now, you know. But we're quick to switch because something doesn't work. But we think it's just us. Like, no other entrepreneur is going through this. Nobody else is like struggling. And those that have children, it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Little Tay,
right.
You know,
I can't even imagine, you know, doing this and making this transition with children. We don't have children. And, you know, one thing I'll add to Lyric is in that time for about 4 months, I did take on a temporary job, a part-time job that was affectionately, well, it's full-time, but it was a temporary position, I should say. So it's contract. I knew it would, they weren't expecting me to stay around forever, thank God. And I called it the place. I would be like, oh Lord, I gotta get up and go to the place. But the place gave me a moment of reprieve to just be able to breathe a minute and generate some money so that I could, you know, pay some bills, pay some people back, and, you know, get to a better, get out the red, if you will.
Yeah.
So again, there's no shame in that. And I think sometimes we do a lot of times we do people a disservice by making them feel bad if they're, you know, working on, you know, on the side. I just said, change your perspective. Your job can be your part, that's your side hustle. That's how I treat it. I was like, this job is my side hustle. I'm very clear on what I'm here to do. And right now it's my investor. Thank you so much for investing in my business. I really appreciate it. And that's what helped me through the 4 months. Cause I was like, oh Jesus, this is woo. And it just, again, it was like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want your vision to work? Or are you just going to throw in the towel and be like, well, this is as good as it gets? And I was determined this was going to be a temporary job. No, don't ask me to come on full time. I'm not trying to stick around. I probably was to the point of being obnoxious with that, but I was just very clear. No, not happening.
So it's all right to jump in if you need to, and do what you have to do. Just don't mentally stay there.
Right. Treat it like a client. You know, I was like, well, this is my, you know, whatever you have to do mentally to get through. But what you don't want to do is be sitting over in a corner suffering and just losing everything because of your pride. Like, it was a pride issue. I am well educated. I could get a job, but it was a pride issue of what will people think, you know, if I have a job, even if it's temporary. What will people think of you homeless, Nadia? Like, seriously. So you just have to really, you know, start to weigh your options and put your pride aside. But now on the other side of it, you can look back and be like, you know, it's all good. And I also encourage clients that I get it. I know what it was like. I was a mess. And I knew that this was something that I really had to perfect. And so, you know, just knowing that and being open to that. And one of the things, a book that Toby and I read in the past, and there's this quote, I don't know who said it, but there's like, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened when I was in that space of just almost to the point of being hungry. Like, I have to fix this problem in my business if I'm going to see my vision fulfilled. And that's when I ran across Shay and Trevor. And I got a call one day and it was like, hey, you know, you could help us out with this. And I will, you know, and Shay was just like, hey, I can help you with the sales piece. And I was like, all right. And so it started, it's kind of like Karate Kid, where, you know, he was washing the windows, wax on, wax off. Yeah, we doing some of the most random stuff, watching videos and doing whatever. But I was like, hey, whatever, you know, I'll do it. And that, you know, being a part of that team gave me the space and the opportunity to really flex and build my sales muscle until that day came when I was like, hold up, I like sales. I love it. And Toby comes home one day and, you know, I'm all hyped because, Lyric, you've been around me when we close deals, right? And I'm like, babe, you know, this is how much revenue I generated today. And I'm so excited. And I was like, I love sales. And he's looking at me because, you know, you've been with me on this whole, right. You what? Come again? What have you done with my wife? Because the one I know, she hates this. But, you know, there was this shift in my thinking and in my mindset of, you know what, sales is nothing but a conversation. It's kind of like this. And one thing, too, Shay and Trevor really helped me to realize that while I was a part of the team and I learned a lot from them as my mentors at that time, they also helped me to realize that I don't sell like them. And so it was that kind of that mystery, right? Like, hold up, you can hold your own, but you don't necessarily do it our way. Yeah. And that's when I was like, you're right, I don't. And so I really started to pay attention to that. Like, how does Nadia sell? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the key things. And when I teach sales is you don't teach like me. You don't sell like me. Your clients may be different. Each person you talk to is different. And so to try to be someone else only further hinders you. And you and I have had those conversations about scripts and all that. And, you know, why we just kind of scoffed at it because it just feels clunky and it feels weird. And people can feel that too, if you're not confident in that conversation. But I was still very reluctant to make a shift in my focus with leadership and sales.
Right.
And so after being a part of a team of about for almost a year, I was at a mastermind event in Cincinnati. And my good friend, Stella Orange, and she had hosted this at her loft, and I wasn't feeling well. And I think part of that part of the story is I probably would have come up with something more glamorous had I been feeling well. But because I wasn't feeling well, I was just like, I need to say something for my hot seat, right? I need to say something. I didn't fly all this way to say nothing. And so I just kind of threw it out there. I was like, well, I've been doing leadership for years now. That's what I've been known for all these years. But this new thing around sales is kind of, bubbling up. And I don't know if I want to own it. Like, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this. Okay. And so part of me, Lyric, really expected people to look at me and say, girl, don't worry about that. Don't do that. Like, stick with your leadership thing, right? Stick with what you know. And no, they all looked at me like, why wouldn't you? Yeah. And I was like, crap, so we kind of talked it out. And then, so that's when things started to be birthed and people started planting the seeds, and it took people along the way to really push me to own that. But that's where it all started. It was a really difficult shift. And I only say within maybe the past couple of months have I really owned it. So a lot of it was kind of stealth and secret. Like my friends like you, people that knew, but not everybody, it's kind of like, girl, don't tell nobody I helped you with this. It's going to keep this on the low. And Toby called me out a couple months ago, and he was like, hold up, wait a minute. Because I'd done a favor for a friend, and I was all excited, and I was skipping around the house, like, oh my God. And he's like, wait, hold up. Let me get something straight. Yep. You're good at this. I was like, yeah. People pay you to help them with this. I was like, yeah. They get results. I was like, You like it. Yeah. So why are you not doing this in your business, Nadia? So you had that moment, you're like, oh, well, see what happened was. And so, I haven't looked back since.
And that's when stuff just kind of creeps up on you like that. And, that wasn't the game plan. It wasn't the plan to, be in sales. And you went from, I hate sales, it's so pushy, I don't want to be the used car salesman. Like, and I don't sell like the guys. I'm a lady,
Right.
We have conversations.
We do.
We talk about, what little Johnny did at school. And, that's our conversation.
Yeah.
We talk differently.
Very different. Toby, sometimes if I'm working and he's home, because I've had, sales conversations, and he'll be like, I thought you were on the phone with one of your sister or your mom or one of your friends. And I'll come out like, I just closed the deal. Like, I'm so excited. He's looking at me. And that was, those were the clues that there's something different here. Sales doesn't have to be so serious and so heavy and so laborious and so dreaded. Like, you can really have fun doing sales, and you don't have to be sleazy, and you can be honest, and you can be yourself. And so I just own that. Like, that's what I do. That's who I am. And I help clients do that. And once they grab it, Lyric, it's just so much fun to watch them go from, I don't know, Dr. Nadia, to, oh my gosh, it's been less than 2 weeks and I got a client, or I just closed a $12,000 deal, or I just had the best month in my business ever. And I'm like, see, I told you. And you can have fun doing it. So that's my mission now, to just help women make a lot of money.
Yeah, and you get happy when they get happy. When they,
oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my God, Dr. Nadia, it worked. I closed this deal, closed that deal. You are just as excited about the people that you coach. When they win, you win. And that's
absolutely
attitude that you have. And, I'm one of those people that's kind of like, sales, I was that girl, but the thing that you came up with is because we are women. So we do talk differently, we sell differently. But you came up with the conversation guide. Like, yes. You mean I don't have to use a script? Like, ditch the script? Like,
we don't, we don't do scripts.
Just because it's a conversation the way that women do it.
Yeah, how we roll.
It's a conversation. So I don't know what you guys got to be. If you don't have a conversation guide, you guys need to find Dr. Nadia. You need to find her on social media, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. If you need to get in your vehicle and drive to Phoenix, get you a
somebody said that just today, Lyric. They were like, if I could get to Phoenix right now, they're on the East Coast, I would be there. I was like, I'll be here until next Saturday. So hop on there. Let's get this stuff done. But yeah.
Because I know, and I just thank God, because I talked about my team earlier. I'm just so glad that you are on my team,
Yes.
Because, being able to fly to Phoenix and hang out with you and map out, all of my services and things of that nature. And it's a good mix when you have friends with the same mission, the same goal, and that are good in one area and you may be great in another area, and it works. It just kind of, meshes. And, I fly out, you go with your regular girlfriends. They be like, girl, where we going now? What's next? And then you be like, you got your laptop open? I got mine open.
Exactly.
Just, but it's the same mission. Mm-hmm. It's the same mission. And I tell you, I just love it. And, being able to talk to you about these sales conversations, that, look, I ain't sold this, help, what am I saying wrong? And, and I remember when you first came on as my sales coach, and I'm going to be honest, we be on, I think it was every Tuesday.
Wednesday.
It was every Wednesday. And I used to be like, Lord, I ain't going to never learn how to sell. I just forget it. Like, just forget it. But you just showed me there's a different way. And some of the things now, just listening to you, and I was telling people, let me get Exhibit A. I was telling people, when I first met you, I used to be like, ooh, the new girl on the team, right? She keep walking around with these little books, right? These little hardcover books. And I said, new girl, does she journaling? We got time to journal. We out here helping entrepreneurs. Like, we're in the studio, we're got systems and tools. And every time I turned around, you had this book and you had a little purple pen. I don't have no purple pen.
I have a pink one today.
A pink one today. A little pink and purple pen. I said, she's always writing in that book. But then I overheard you one day say, okay, so hold on one second. So yes, what credit card would that be? You got your little earpiece in, and I got props tonight, honey.
My earbuds.
You be like this. And let me tell you guys about Dr. Nadia. She don't have one ear in. She got two.
Oh yeah, I'm a complete nerd. Both, I need to hear everything.
Not only that, I think she want to hear everything and tune out everything else around her, on the outside. So if we're talking to her, she ain't listening. So she would have her little book, and I overheard her one day saying, so, and what credit card would you like to put that on? That'd be Visa? Okay. Will Friday be okay to take that out? Okay. All right. I am so excited that we're going to be working together. And I said, wait one damn minute. So, excuse me, Doc, hello, that little book you have, is that the money book? See, you got to watch these people that always joning on you, cracking jokes. You over there making money. I said, oh, she journaling? No.
Okay, bad smack.
The money book. Let me tell y'all something. I said, oh, that's your money book. So, where do you get those? Where do you get these money books?
That's why we were in Florida when we got yours.
Right, we were in Florida. And I said, so where do you get these little money books? And, Walgreens. And I said, oh, you think we can go there and get me one? And guess what I got, ladies and gentlemen? A money book. This is where I get this from. So if you don't have you a Dr. Nadia Brown money book, you ain't making no sales. This is this and the conversation guide, and get you a pink or purple pen.
Pick the color of your choice. But one thing I'll add to Lyric is And what I teach my, my clients is when you're having these conversations, part of the power of the conversation guide is it takes you out of your head. So you're not thinking, because you're on a sales call and you're nervous. And you're like, well, what did she say this? And what if they say that? The conversation guide is there. So if they say it, you already know what you're going to say. So it takes you so you can be fully present. I take notes so that when I'm talking to them, I can help them show, like, here's the package or the program I'm offering. This will help you get to your next step. It also forces me not to do things like multitask. So I'm not on Facebook. I'm not texting, because it's really tempting to try to multitask when somebody else is talking and you're not listening. And then, of course, if they say yes, then, well, you got to document the payment information some kind of way. So, yeah.
Oh. Would that be Visa or MasterCard? and the funny thing is, I was on a sales training call last night at 11 p.m. That's my bedtime, right? But the thing is, when I got the notification say, hey, we're having a sales training at 11 p.m. If you like, jump on. I was like, oh, make sure my schedule's clear. What is the call-in number? What I would never have done that before. With sales. So I know you have helped me kind of accept that and ease into it and not make it feel so wonky.
It's so much fun. I mean, what we do to help clients is fun. Like, especially like what you do, and you bring in a glam squad and you got cameras, and I mean, who wouldn't want that? And so if we're hiding out in our offices, people are stuck. And one of the things that helps me, because let me tell you this, while we talk about sales and cracking jokes, there are still days I don't want to get on the phone. I still have those moments like, hey, just go to a website and just click the buy button. And
just the PayPal button.
Right. Just, do I really have to do this today? And I tell people that, no, don't take it personal, like all the things. And it's true, but I'm human. And so there's still days when I take it personal. It's like, did you just call my baby ugly, or whatever. And it really is. So I still have to work through these things, but I know that because this is a skill that I now have, that I have the power to build my business, and I have the power to hit the revenue goals that I want to hit. I have the power and the ability to create the lifestyle that I desire. And so that's very powerful. And it's empowering too, when you think about that in terms of not feeling like you have to be dependent on someone else or really worrying about, how things will look and all those kinds of things. And so now, I've been thinking about different ways to really marry that to how I like to roll in my business, so that it can be a win-win and I can have fun, because fun is important in case y'all hadn't figured that out for me.
Yeah.
And do that. But one of the things that I really enjoy the most is helping other people make money. Like, I really enjoy that. And people look at me like I'm crazy. People are just like, I don't understand how you can say you love sales calls. And, my friends are kind of like, girl, something wrong with you. Like, you need to have your head examined. But, if I go too many days out of sales call, I'm like, oh, I got to talk to somebody.
Well, I gotta make calls.
Right. And it's not so much about the money. It's about the connection. You learn a lot about people. You learn a lot about what your audience is dealing with. You get a lot of ideas around content. You build relationships. So a lot of times I may call people, and I think sometimes they think, oh, Dr. Nadia's calling to sell me something. It's not. I'm just like, hey, girl, how you doing? And it's about relationship, because I know what I bring. I know that when you're ready, I can help you get results. And I can help you get results fast, but you have to be ready, because I can't do |the calls for you. Well, actually I could, but that's a whole nother program. That's a whole nother program. But it's important for me that all my clients, whether my team provides sales support for you or you just do it yourself, that you have that confidence that should someone call out sick or whatever, you can do it. And so that's really important.
Yes. And what's your little hashtag? My clients get clients.
Yes, they do.
I love it. Dr. Nadia's hashtag is my clients get clients. Hashtag that.
We came up with that hashtag when I was talking trash. And somebody had just sent me a message, really excited about just getting a client. I was like, that's right. My clients get clients talking smack. And they were like, oh, hashtag that.
Hashtag that, honey. You got to keep the off the hook girlfriends around you. We like, hashtag that.
Yeah, you'll hashtag something in a minute.
In a New York minute, honey, and then do it like this. Hashtag my clients get clients. Wow.
Like, should we really be doing that? But whatever. It was fun. And it's true.
It's the truth. We didn't lie. We didn't tell any lies. But Dr. Nadia, we're coming up on our time. And I always ask each person I interview this one question.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to see what your answer is. So, Dr. Nadia Brown, if you were not doing what you're doing now, working with entrepreneurs, helping them do sales or leadership training, and there were no boundaries, there was no financial boundaries, there's no boundaries of it can't happen. It's just open field. What would Dr. Nadia be doing if she wasn't doing this?
I'll probably still try to sneak in and do a little bit of this on the side. But I would host retreats around the world. There's these exotic, luxurious retreats for women. And we would just go some really nice places and we would be spoiled and pampered. And just, yeah. And we'll probably talk sales. We talk shop. We squeeze that in there somewhere. But yeah, that's what I would do.
You know what? More than a couple of ladies had said something dealing with travel to exotic places. I'm going to have to do some research because evidently I don't know where to go. So, but
there are great places to go.
Yeah. And somebody else said there would be a travel blogger. Like they would just go around and blog about the exotic places that they would just plop down and, spend the month at. And I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, that's kind of nice. So that's the bomb. I like that. So I know that you have a goodie for our audience. And you guys, Dr. Nadia has graced us with a little gift. So if you want to, can we give away goodies here? You guys already know that. You already know what you're dealing with, right? So if you go over to lifeandtimes360.com, that's life and times with an S, 360.com, hit the Dr. Nadia button and get your goodie. But not only that, join our community. You could join it from there as well. And you could also go over on Facebook to Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur. That's our page. Go over there, join it, like it, join the community. Make sure you say who you are, what part of the country you're in, and what does your business do. And not only that, if you don't have a business, this is a space for entrepreneurs, people that want to be entrepreneurs. So you could also put in there and say, hey, I'm a newbie to this, but I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know where to start. Or I need help in this piece right here because I want to, open up a bakery. Well, put it in there. Say what it is. Call it. Yell it out as if it was. And there's always somebody in the group that can assist you. The network is large. And not only that, my team of rock star friends, I'd be like, I'll get them on the phone and say, hey, so-and-so needs this, so-and-so needs that. And they're always willing to reach out and help. And that's just what we do. If it's something that Dr. Nadia does, I'm Dr. Nadia, I got Rachel on the line, she wants this. Or if it's something that one of my other rock star friends is an expert in. And I got expert friends, right? They master this stuff and very good. But this is the platform, this is the community where we share those ideas with each other. Okay? So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Dr. Nadia, I appreciate you for jumping in and gracing us with your presence, and your stories are hilarious.
Thanks for having me.
I didn't know about, the B in cubicle 3. I thought you was really giving it to her. I didn't know the B stood for Beverly. I probably should have just kept thinking the B in cubicle 3 is. So I truly appreciate it because you gave us the low down dirty shame. You gave us the real, and it lets other entrepreneurs know that's going through these tough times that there is the other side that does exist.
Yep.
And this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just keep pushing, keep going. Sure.
And you just never know. Like, one last thing, sometimes out of your adversity comes something so beautiful. So part of the gift of me being in that space and being committed to learning how to get out of it has created a whole new revenue stream and a whole new world for me that I never would have embraced otherwise. And so, you know, and I know sometimes it sounds really cliche and like, oh, okay, whatever, somebody break out the violin and, you know, the Hallmark cards, but it's true. And so just, you know, and I know sometimes it's hard to see it when you're in it, but, you know, just if anything, some type of hope is on the other side, there is a gift in it, and you just never know what that gift may be.
Keep pushing. Just keep pushing. We all have been there. And if you've been an entrepreneur as long as I have, I done been there about 4 times. Maybe not. I done lost count. How many times I done went down? The ship went down like the Titanic, the band still playing and everything. I'm like, hold up! But I'm a natural born entrepreneur. Wait a minute, I can't swim. I can't go down.
And we keep trying to figure something out. We're like, well, hold up. People like, abandon ship. You're like, no, I got this. I got this.
No, please. I'm an entrepreneur. I can't go down again. Oh, they throw me a life jacket. I know they say, ma'am, we're all out of life jackets. You're going to have to make this work. But it's okay to go down. Scrape your knees, brush it off, and baby, get back up and try again.
That's right.
Just won't do what you did the last time.
Right. Learn from your mistakes.
You got to learn from your mistakes. And it may be a new obstacle, but that's okay. That's part of your genius. Okay? Yeah. So ladies, my female entrepreneurs, keep pushing, keep rocking out. You know, it's rock out or stay home. There are no other options here. Okay? This entrepreneur game is for the strong. And you are it. We are women. We birth children. We put all these people on the earth. We can do anything. Right? We can do anything. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for going over to our Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur page and liking it and saying hello to us. And again, I appreciate you showing up. I love you guys as always. And you know, I got more dynamic female entrepreneurs coming, right? So y'all stay on the lookout. It'll be posted on the page. Love you much. Thank you, Dr. Nadia.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys. It's a good night.